welcome to the opening ceremony of the Master of Advanced Studies in Humanitarian Operations and Supply Chain Management. It is a tremendous pleasure to see you all here. It is a personal honor to launch this master program because it is an initiative and a vision that is shared among very different partners with a common goal, to improve humanitarian operations and alleviate human suffering. This program is very significant to me, to us, because it marks the successful collaboration of our university, the International Organization for Migration, and the Kuehne Foundation. The three partners have worked diligently to design and implement a master program that can significantly improve how humanitarian organizations manage their operations. And such efforts are not started every day, right? And the opportunity to be part of this, it's truly outstanding. So I thank you. To reflect a little bit on the short history of this program, it is important to mention that it is a direct result and vision of two IOM individuals, and I would like to single them out, Mike Billinger and Ladus Vlhava. When they approached me in 2012, so it was just last year, shortly over a year, to discuss the possibility of designing a master program to help IOM build its logistics capacity, to be honest, I was hopeful, but also skeptical. Because I had had already similar discussions with three other major organizations. They told me the same. They were interested in building capacity. Could we partner with them? Could we help to set up something? And unfortunately, nothing concrete came out of those discussions. However, as we continued our conversations, their commitment to implementation became evident. We had to overcome a number of obstacles to be here today. I am sure that you will hear some of these over the course of the next year. But in particular, we would face significant financial risk to be able to start. And that's where the Kuehne Foundation played a very important role through its in-kind support, through teaching, travel expenses, and hosting us in its KLU campus in Hamburg. We are very thankful for that. Otherwise, this program probably would not have started. Thank you for making this master program a reality.
Dear Mr. Schatzer, distinguished colleagues and guests, and most of all, dear students, because you are the students. Although, I mean, we are used with students which are more junior than you, but you are very experienced people. But as I will say today, as I am going to say today, I mean, life is a long learning, a lifelong learning. It is a pleasure to welcome you at the Università della Svizzera Italiana on this important occasion. 150 years passed since Henri Dunant, a 30-year-old Swiss fellow, witnesses the Battle of Solferino on the 24th of June 1859. The horrors of the slaughter, almost 30,000 were killed that day, upset the young man from Geneva very deeply, especially the negligence towards the wounded and the dying, and the general lack of coordination in providing first aid. A few years later, he then decided to create an organization destined to become one of the largest and the most remarkable field of humanitarian aid worldwide, the Red Cross. Dunant was most of all a man of action, respected for his coordination skill and clever to involve people. He understood the extraordinary importance of addressing solidarity in the most complete and least obvious way, through management. To coordinate all operations in the best possible way and organize supplies in the most appropriate way are, as a matter of fact, essential element for an efficient humanitarian action without wasting time and resources. Today we are celebrating the launch of a new master, the Master of Advanced Study in Operations and Supply Chain Management, which aims specifically at improving theoretical and practical skills of field professionals and will help you solving most of the practical, logistic, and supply issues you are facing daily. In the spirit of Dunant, the field of action will be the main focus of this master, conceived with the intent of bringing education and training close to the field with program which, in the end, should allow you to tackle practical projects. The course will in fact result in the design and implementation of projects based on real life challenges that your organization has to face, with the supervision of excellent professors and field experts. For the Università della Svizzera Italiana, offering our contribution to foster the professional training of people who commit to helping the most troubled and complex situation is a great honor. As a president of a university in a privileged country like Switzerland, I often ask myself what is the contribution given by Swiss university to the severe problems that afflict other countries. The knowledge developed at Swiss university cannot remain stuck on the campuses. The knowledge must flow in order to have a concrete impact where it is really needed. Like the Master of Advanced Study in Humanitarian Logistics and Management, this new master, born thanks to the precious support of the Kuehne Foundation and the International Organization for Migration, is an example of how even a young and small university like ours can have an impact where it is most needed. There is still much to be done, but through these programs and the precious collaboration with professionals working in the field, we can strive to make the difference, following in our own small world the footsteps of a man like Henri Dunant. It will be all of you, dear students, those who will be called upon to make a difference and retrace those footsteps. To do so, it is very important to never stop learning. If you are here today, after all, it is because both of you and your organization are aware of the importance of continuing education. Very important. That is why I come back to my first sentence, okay? As a man of science, I am a physicist. My wish is for you to remain curious and always eager to learn new things in your life. As SUSI president, on the other hand, I am quite sure that in a year and a half, you will feel like proud pioneers in this new course of studies. Thanks to your lectures and teachers, you will become even more independent and will be able to work with an even greater experience and expertise and determination, and bring autonomy in those regions where it is most needed. Before closing, allow me to thank again the Kuehne Foundation and the International Organization for Migration, which made this new master possible thanks to their crucial support. A particularly warm thanks to you, Peter Schatzer, Mike Pilligan, and Lado Ilava. I thank you very much for your support and in this operation. I would also like to thank the director of the master, Paolo Gonzalez, who conceived the course, and for the energy put in setting up this program. And I thank you and your collaborators also. In conclusion, I would like to leave you with the citation I found on the Kuehne Foundation website. A quote from Socrates that goes like this: "Our true happiness is promoted by doing what is right." My wish for you is that in your studies and in your work, you may find the happiness of those trying to make this world a better place, one step at a time. Thank you very much.
Driving into Lugano last night with a bit of rain, I recalled that I was here about 20 years ago at the university, invited to speak about migration, which at that time was sort of a niche subject, was not very much on the international agenda. Well, that has changed a lot. And of course, why you all are here today has also to do with the fact that migration, with all its aspects, has become so much more important for governments and for the people involved than it was 2 decades ago. Therefore, this course, this MASHOM, the Master of Advanced Studies in Humanitarian Operation and Supply Chain Management, is really timely. It is also, like so much in IOM, project-based, which means that without you, without the participants, without the students, it cannot function. And therefore, your involvement in this is really critical to the success of it. It's not just the professor, just the teachers from the foundation. It is the interaction between you and the faculty that will be providing part of the success of this event. Well, humanitarian organizations, and IOM is just one of many here, are always facing a balancing act between providing relief and training the people, investing in the human resources and into capacity building. The scarcity of these qualified human resources is a challenge for most institutions that are active in the humanitarian field today. And in my almost 30 years in this, I don't want to call it business, but let's say in this area, I remember time and again how we scrambled at the onset of an emergency to identify the right people to send to a specific crisis area, be it Pakistan after the earthquake, was it Jordan, where some of you live, right after the invasion of Kuwait in 1990, to find the right mix of nationality, of political, diplomatic, and operational skills to send to this. And for IOM, this was a real challenge 2 decades ago, and even today remains one, as we see again when suddenly somewhere a crisis breaks out. The University of Svizzera Italiana, IOM, and the Kuehne Foundation, I think, are all committed to helping humanitarian operations to meet these challenges. This new program provides participants, you, with both the long-term perspective, but also with the short-term skills that are needed to respond to specific situations. You know, IOM has over 6 decades, more than 6 decades, developed a rather good system for logistics and the supply chain management, although the supply doesn't depend on IOM there, for the movement of people. I think we're pretty good in moving people around the world. But with the important changes in the challenges that all international organizations had to face over recent years, we too had to reassess our role and adjust the approach and the toolkit to a world where migrants in need of international assistance, but also donors, expect effective and efficient support. Our Director General, who conveys his greetings to me, of course, to all of you, has understood this, and he has taken a number of actions. One of them is to help us develop and support the MASHOM. But trying to develop more systematic approaches to supply chain management in humanitarian operations within IOM is another challenge. And since last summer, we have set up a multidisciplinary internal working group that is analyzing our strengths and weaknesses in this field and will soon report its findings. In this, like MASHOM, the work of this working group, which I have the pleasure to chair, is supported by the foundation of Michael Kuehne. And I would like to use this occasion to publicly thank Mr. Kuehne through Olaf, but also Olaf personally, but also Martin Wilhaus, for their support and their patience with IOM, which of course as an intergovernmental organization doesn't always work as fast as maybe the private sector does. Participating in MASHOM means of course that you are already ready to support this type of change. Trying to bring any type of change to an international organization, but to any bureaucracy, is never easy, and the work of our logistics working group is no exception. Still, we must continue to improve our performance as individuals, but also as institutions, because we owe this to those who actually require our help, and to those who pay for our salaries, our costs through their taxes. And to improve, we need motivation, we need knowledge, we need the right equipment. MASHOM can bring us the knowledge, in particular, as it's not an ivory tower approach, but one that brings the practitioners to the universities, but also the professors to the field and to the theaters of operation. So at this early hour, but then humanitarian operations don't follow schedules of weeks and Sundays and holidays. So at this early hour here in Lugano, I wish you a successful week of training, of courses, of interaction, but I also hope that you have some fun here in Lugano. Thank you very much.
In closing, I'd like to say a few things. First, to William James, great man of history manipulates, shapes the thoughts of society. However, to achieve those results, a man's genius, right, vision, ideas, they depend on a favorable reality, right? Thus, to cite James, social evolution is a resultant of the interaction of two factors. First, the individual, bearing all the power of initiative and origination in his hands. And second, the social environment, right, with its power of adopting or rejecting both the individual and his gifts. The two factors are essential to change. The community stagnates without the impulse of the individuals, and the impulse dies away without the sympathy of the community. I think that what we experience here today, the fruition of this master, the ability to implement it, the Humanitarian Operations and Supply Chain Management Master is a result of both committed individuals with vision and industry working diligently, and a very favorable reality that was made possible by the partnership of the university, the Kuehne Foundation, and the International Organization for Migration. This is rare, and it's particularly rewarding to be part of it. So I hope that we all can seize this opportunity, which is unique, to positively learn a lot, continuous learning, and positively influence the humanitarian sector. Thank you very much, and welcome. Thank you.